Hello, can you hear me? Hello. You can hear me now. Okay, fantastic. Okay, great. Good afternoon. My name is Nigel Allen. I'm the president of OneCoin. I'm calling you from Bangkok, where it's evening here. I know I can see on today's call we actually have some participants here in Asia, from Malaysia and other countries in the Asian region. Welcome. We also see some people here from Norway and Scandinavia and Finland. In fact, some names here I've seen from, I know from the past. I've worked with you in the past, so it's great to see so many of you getting involved and embracing the OneCoin concept. Um, Really, today is a very exciting time for me to give the presentation. I'll give an overview of the business, but really I want to give you a kind of state of the art, state of the nation address, so to speak. As most of you know, I'm sure all of you know on the call, yesterday we had our first split of the tokens in OneCoin's history. And the buying frenzy leading up to the split in the last week or two has been unbelievable. I mean, there really isn't another word for it. I'm not going to disclose the sales volume that we've done in just the last week and a half, but I've got to tell you, it's breaking all records around the world. There isn't a company out there that's gone from zero 90 days ago, 92 days ago, to the kind of volume that we've got at the closing the end of December. But this will give you a clue. Over 50 people have maxed out the plan this last week. Now, for a company that's still in pre-launch, and we don't start mining for another 23 days or something, 22 days, and we're still in pre-launch, we have 26,200 people approximately already, and 50 people are maxing the plan. Do you know what it means to max the plan? Well, if you're a tycoon, that means you're making 35,000 euros per week just in the compensation plan. And that doesn't include any profits that you're going to be making from the OneCoin growth or the tokens or so on. Just to give you an overview, and you can see these figures yourself in your back office, if you log in and look under bonuses and go to the One Life bonuses, you can see the country rankings, which of course are changing really by the minute. But at the moment, we're looking at around 14,000 people in China alone, around 2,700 in Malaysia. Number 3 is Thailand with 1,768. Number 4 is Finland with 1,520. Number 5 is Vietnam with 914. Number 6 is Sweden with 768. There's other countries in there, but really those are the top 6 in terms of production, in terms of volume, in terms of numbers of members. So that gives you an idea of your outputs. You're in Malaysia, well done. If you're in China, even better, you're in the lead. But Finland and Thailand are coming on strong, very, very close behind you, as is Vietnam, and Sweden's come on strong a lot in the last couple of weeks as well. So 50 people maxing out the plan. The split, basically what it did is it doubles everybody's value. You know, the tokens were rising in price, and you saw the split barometer go up until it reached 80, 85, 90, 95, 98%. And of course, people were just crazy. I guess they just really wanted to get in before the split, which is fantastic. And I mean, only just the other day, one man came to me. He ordered 30 tycoon packages. Okay, this is what's going on in the world, and in the world of OneCoin. And the split basically doubled everyone's value, because as the price of the tokens reached 20 cents, it splits, drops to 11 cents. So you now get double the tokens, double the quantity of tokens, but you didn't get half value. It's actually gone up from 10 cents to 11 cents. So everyone has made money here. And what you need to do now, if you only have if you have a tycoon package, my advice to you is wait for the second split. And with the growth and the intensity of what's going on at the moment in the OneCoin business, I predict the next split will be sometime in February. So you don't have long to wait. So if you have a tycoon package, my advice to you is do not sell tokens, do not even start mining yet until the split. That's my best advice to you. If you have the other packages, which only split one time, of course, go into the mining straight away. And of course, you can go into the mining. I'd certainly do some mining when we start with January the 20th. Everyone wants to be in on the beginning of that. But you know, I think the first couple of weeks, the price of the OneCoin is not going to rise dramatically anyway. So, and remember, when you start mining the OneCoin, it's going to take 5 tokens to mine one OneCoin. So, of course, the more tokens you have, the more OneCoins you will get at a price of €0.5 each. That will be the starting price. So let's go through the presentation very quickly. Now, many of you will have seen this before or heard it before, or even seen some of our my recorded webinars on YouTube or on the Facebook page, but it really is worth bearing in mind and repeating. And as I say, you have to remember, we started in business really at the back end of August, beginning of September. We're closing out the year with a record month, and this is our last webinar of 2014. Everyone sitting here tonight, this afternoon, everyone in our business is in an incredible opportunity, incredible position to make fortunes in the next 12 months. Everyone here, your lives can change dramatically for the better if you'll just go along with the program. So what is OneCoin? See, these are the kind of questions I ask. Well, you know, I've been involved in the industry a long time. Some of you know me. Some of you know that I've been involved in the industry since 1985. That makes me a 29-year veteran of network marketing. You know, I've built organizations in different countries. I've consulted with companies. I've been corporate. I've been president of my own company. And so when I was invited to join the OneCoin team in a corporate capacity, I was very, very excited, because once I understood the concept, by the way, I didn't understand the concept at first because this was new to me. You know, I've been involved in nutritional supplements. I've been involved in cosmetics and skincare, perfumes, you name it. So the idea of cryptocurrency was a totally new concept to me. But once I got my head around it and I saw the potential for money and for life-changing income and capital growth for people, it really didn't take me long to accept Dr. Ruja's offer to join her. So, but having said that, when I'm offered an opportunity, and I think the same should apply to you, you need to ask some serious questions. You know, there are many opportunities out there. And by the way, there will be many copycat companies of OneCoin, no doubt. If they're not trying to copy us, then we're not doing a good job. So you need to ask some serious questions. If someone comes to you with the next greatest thing that they tell you is the next cryptocurrency business, you need to ask questions like, well, okay, what is it? So what's OneCoin? You need to know who's running it, who's behind it, what are their credentials, what's their experience, is it legal, can I get into trouble promoting it, what's the legal situation, is it real, do they have a real product, a real coin, for example, or is it just a token money game like some of the ones out there where the only people who can buy your tokens or your coins or whatever they call them are members of the organization? With OneCoin, you'll see that this can be sold to the outside world. Then you want to know, how do I make money? In our business, we actually have 2 income streams. One is the compensation plan, which can give you cash flow, and that's what I tell people. Use that to pay your bills. Use that to get yourself out of debt. Use that to give yourself lifestyle. The OneCoin itself will grow tremendously in capital value over the next 1 to 3 years. My advice is don't touch that. Don't spend capital, spend income. Okay, so you're going to see tonight and this afternoon how to make both income and capital growth. And then, of course, you need to know, is it simple? If you can't do it, if it's not simple, if you can't explain it, if you can't explain it on the back of a napkin, then you know you're going to have a hard time building an organization. It needs to be something that's simple and duplicatable. Then what are your strategies? What do I want to get out of this in the next 3 months? What about the next 1 year, 2 years? And what are my exits? If I want to sell all my coins or sell all my units or whatever I've got, can I actually get cash? And that's really important, because again, there's no point being involved in some of these money games out there and you think you've made a lot of money until you realize you can't get your money out. Well, the moral of the story is this: if you can't spend it, it's not real. So OneCoin is a new type of cryptocurrency, and a cryptocurrency is a digitally created currency based upon advanced mathematical algorithms or a formula. It's like a mathematical puzzle, and it's based upon the success of Bitcoin. And the puzzle is when the computer solves the puzzle, that's called mining the coins. And every time they solve a puzzle and get a solution, that yields one coin. And so our currency is based upon a mathematical algorithm that can yield 2.1 billion coins or solutions to the puzzle. Based upon Bitcoin, which was the first company or first coin out there that was created, which can only produce 21 million coins. And you'll see the reason for that difference in a second. OneCoin is not pre-mined. In other words, we didn't create a load of coins in order to sell them to you or the public. In fact, you are our partners in this. The members are our miners. You are the miners who will create the market. You will mine the coins, and you will keep all of the profits. The OneCoin Limited does not own any coins. And as you'll see, we do not even sell coins. We are an online education business. Coins are a side benefit. OneCoin will be traded on a public exchange, which is, of course, another way you can know that the product is real. Because again, if you can sell the product to people who are non-members, not part of the network, then of course it's a real product. And as you'll see, the plan is lucrative, but extremely simple and extremely fair. So how does an algorithm work or a puzzle work that can give you a fixed number of answers? You see, I didn't understand this at first, and it took me a while to get my head around it, because, you know, normally you solve an equation or solve a puzzle and it's got one answer, or maybe when I was at school we did quadratic equations. I think it has 2 or 3 answers, I can't remember. But how do you get something that's got 2.1 billion answers in the case of OneCoin? That's 2.1 billion coins, or 21 million in the case of Bitcoin. Well, here's the first thing you need to know. A real or legitimate cryptocurrency has a fixed or finite number of solutions, because everything's governed by the mathematics and it cannot be changed once the mining begins. We can't turn around suddenly and say, oh, things are going well, so let's produce 3.1 billion coins instead. It doesn't work because the maths gives you a fixed outcome. So how does that work? Well, I thought about it, and I was shown this example, made a lot of sense to me. What if I wanted to produce a cryptocurrency that could only create 3 coins? I'd come up with a puzzle or an algorithm that asks the question, how do I make the number 5? And you see here that 3 plus 2 equals 5. Well, that's 1 coin. 4 plus 1 equals 5. Well, that's another coin. 5 plus 0 also equals 5. There are 3 possible solutions to that simple puzzle, meaning I would have created a cryptocurrency with 3 outcomes or 3 coins. So that's how it can work. So you can just imagine the complexity of an algorithm that can produce 2.1 billion coins. This is, and you'll hear me referring to Bitcoin a little bit, this is a history of Bitcoin, which was the first cryptocurrency ever created. As you can see, it started in January 2009, so it's 6 years ago now. Is that 7 years, actually, coming up to 2015? Yeah, my maths is not that good. No, 6 years, yes. So it started, when they started mining it, it had a market value, a market price of 10 cents, 10 US dollar cents. 2.5 years later, you see it rose to $35. That's a 350-fold increase. And by about a year ago, it rose to over $1,200 in value. So from 10 cents to $1,200, that's 12,000 times increase in value. I don't know anything that has increased that much in value over the last 6 years. I don't, you know, stocks and shares, property, gold. Really, there's nothing out there to rival cryptocurrency. That's why Wall Street loves it, because it's got a fixed quantity, and when you've got fixed supply and increasing demand, of course, what do you have? Increasing value. Now, you may say, well, if it's got increasing value, why did it drop in value here? Because now it's trading somewhere in the region of $300 to $350. Well, the reason is very simple. In the beginning, the only people who even knew about Bitcoin were probably computer nerds who were mining it for fun. They didn't even realize the value. Then around here, sort of 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I think speculators started getting involved. They realized there's some money in this, and it really pushed the market up. But when something rises that quickly, it really usually has to fall quickly too. So it's fallen to what I would consider is probably its real level at the moment, which is about 300 to 350 US dollars. Now, out of interest, you'll see on this graph here, in the last 6 years, they've mined about 50% of the available 21 million coins. Now, as you'll see from the next graph, the more coins you mine, the more difficult it becomes to mine the successive coins, and therefore pushing the price up. So in the beginning, a cryptocurrency, when you start mining them and finding the solutions, you find a lot very quickly. It's like all of the low-hanging fruit. The more coins you find, the harder it becomes to find the rest. That increases the mining difficulty and therefore increases the cost of mining. So you need bigger and more powerful servers, you need more electricity, and so on and so forth. And of course, as the cost of mining increases, so does the value and price of the coin. It's a mathematical certainty over time, because it's just the way it is. As I said to you, fixed supply, increasing demand. Now, one aspect to this that we can add that Bitcoin doesn't have and no other legitimate cryptocurrency has is the ability to grow the market very, very quickly, exponentially, as we're doing, by adding the network marketing component and increasing miners. You see, the network marketing is a tool really for us to create millions of miners. We just need more and more people. And of course, if you make a lot of money by building your team, of course, you're going to go out and keep building and recruiting, aren't you? So the more people who join, the more it will increase the mining difficulty and therefore the value for everybody. This is trying to show you what Bitcoin mining was like 6 years ago. In fact, you could mine 1 Bitcoin at the time with a single laptop every hour. Now it's taking you a month with huge servers to mine a single Bitcoin with huge resources. In fact, the average investor who is joining a pool or wants to mine is seeing 450 days or a year and a half to become profitable. So people are joining pools, but of course, when you're joining a pool, you're sharing those resources as well. We will be putting you into pools, but here's the difference. We'll be doing it in a very democratic way from day one, because OneCoin will be doing the mining on your behalf, and you will pay for that with tokens, as you see. And so it won't make any difference if someone else has got a more powerful server than you have. This shows you actually what could have happened. You know, this man bought a pizza, and this is a true story. In 2010, he used 10,000 Bitcoins. Obviously, he didn't think they were worth much at the time, and he obviously never knew that they were going to be worth as much as $7 million. Now that value has come down to around $3.5 million, but it's still the most expensive pizza in the world. Now, why has it come down to $3.5 million from him, you may say? Well, here's the answer. The value of Bitcoins at the time 3 months ago was $700. Now they're about 350. So 10,000 of them is $3.5 million. And the market capitalization of Bitcoin has dropped as a result of that, because the market capitalization is the number of coins in circulation times the value of each coin. Regardless, it is still a very expensive lesson to learn, and you do not want to be spending or using your coins too soon. Remember what I said, try and live from your income, not from your capital. I believe you should not touch your OneCoins the first year to possibly 3 years if you can avoid it, and let them just grow in value. Now, why is OneCoin better than Bitcoin? You may think that OneCoin is a copycat of Bitcoin or a Bitcoin wannabe. That's not the case. We are actually far better. You know, there are some advantages of coming second, some advantages in seeing what others have done who've gone before you and saying, how can we improve it? Well, firstly, we have a more advanced and more secure algorithm. You know, 6 years later, you know, technology's improved. We can see the flaws in the Bitcoin plans, and we've come up with a way to improve it. The smaller denomination, in other words, 2.1 billion coins versus 21 million, makes it actually much more usable as a currency, because we'll have many more of them in circulation, and it's probably unlikely they'll reach $1,200 per coin, but who knows? Even if it does, we'll still have fractions of that. That's okay. But generally speaking, when you've only got 21 million coins in a worldwide population, and it rises to $1,200 per coin, it really makes it quite an elitist thing. The purpose of OneCoin is to become a very practical currency as well as a huge, exciting investment vehicle. The One Exchange is also something we've done differently from Bitcoin. You know, Bitcoin sells their coins on multiple different exchanges because nobody actually controls the brand, so to speak. With OneCoin, we'll have a single point of exchange to the outside world called the One Exchange. So that will create less volatility because Bitcoin exchanges are all selling at different prices. So it's really quite crazy out there. Very hard to see it as a realistic contender as a currency if the prices are wavering and very volatile. As I said, we have a dedicated management team responsible for the strategy, attracting merchants, and building the OneCoin brand. People have been saying, well, are you going to be able to use the OneCoin, you know, in certain shops? You know, Bitcoin has so many shops and restaurants that will accept Bitcoin. Well, we're going to go one better than that. You're going to be able to spend your OneCoins direct from a MasterCard. It'll do the calculation and the conversion on the fly. So that basically means you can use it in every shop, online, offline, every restaurant, anywhere in the world, spending your OneCoins directly. So we're going to have a much more practical solution than Bitcoins. We won't need Bitcoin like Bitcoin. We won't need ATMs because it'll all be done right there on your MasterCard. As I said, OneCoin is mined in pools or teams of people. So that keeps individual investment in hardware minimal. You don't have to invest in computers. And OneCoin uses KYC, which stands for Know Your Customer procedures. Now, this is what has been in place in all banks since 2001. It's really basically all banks now are required around the world to know exactly who controls and who's owning money when it gets deposited and transferred and so on. And one of the things that people were excited about Bitcoin was they said, oh, but it's anonymous. Isn't that great? Nobody can trace you. Well, of course, there's some pros and cons with that. The problem with it being anonymous is the criminals thought that was a good idea as well, and they started using it for buying drugs and guns on the internet, which caused the FBI to jump in, and now the FBI is the single biggest owner of Bitcoins because they've confiscated so many from the so-called anonymous people. And by using KYC, Know Your Customer procedures, it means that we have a much more secure solution, a solution that banks and institutions are going to be, merchants are more willing to deal with. They feel comfortable. There can never be any accusations of money laundering or anything like that. And of course, the other issue with Bitcoin, people have asked me a lot in the last couple of days, is security. You know, you hear about people losing their Bitcoin, someone hacked into their wallet and stole the Bitcoins. And of course, because it's anonymous, no one knows who owns what, and you can lose your Bitcoins. This cannot happen with OneCoin because we have a centralized database which will record who owns exactly which coins and where they're stored. So if your wallet was hacked, which is unlikely because it's extremely secure and encrypted, then we'd be able to replace those coins immediately, and whoever stole them would not be able to use them or transfer them. So you're in very safe hands here. Now, talking of safe hands, this is Dr. Ruja Ignatova. Now, Ruja is the owner of OneCoin. Some people think that I'm the owner. I wish. I'm not. I'm just an employee. I work for the company. And Dr. Ruja was born in Sofia in Bulgaria. She has a master's in law from Oxford University, a master's in economics from Constance, and of course a PhD in law from Oxford and Constance. Highly educated lady, specialized in finance and law. Really, who better to have her a safe pair of hands on the wheel, so to speak, when you're driving a vehicle like OneCoin. She actually became one of the youngest partners ever in McKinsey and Company, one of the large management consultants in the world. And when she and you can see there, she specialized in corporate banking, private equity, asset management. So this woman understands money, and that's really important for you to know. She understands cryptocurrency probably better than anybody. In fact, as you can see on the next slide here, she actually consulted with other cryptocurrency companies before setting up OneCoin. And really the motivation with setting up OneCoin was simply this: how can I do it better? She was looking at Bitcoin and saying, well, you know, Bitcoin's nice. Well, I like Bitcoin, but you know, there's certain problems. They've done a few things wrong. You know, they've made a few errors here. I think I'd do it this way, and I think we can improve it and make it that way. And when she was talking to, some people like Sebastian Greenwood, our master distributor, and it was saying, we could do this better. He turned around to her and said, well, why don't you then? Why don't you do your own cryptocurrency? And she said, okay, let's do that. So that's how OneCoin was born. Really, it's very simple. And as you can see here, she's been awarded Businesswoman of the Year twice in 3 years. In 2012 in Bulgaria, and also just a few weeks ago, she was awarded Businesswoman of the Year again in Bulgaria. She's worked with major banks like Sberbank in Russia, Unicredit, Allianz, Deutsche Bank, and so on. Very experienced in the whole world of banking and finance and the law. And if you've got any doubts about that, here are some of her awards and certificates. And of course, she's actually written 2 books, one on law in German and one on finance in Chinese. The Chinese one we've actually had reprinted in our Hong Kong office. They're selling that right now. You can buy them for 88 Hong Kong dollars each, which is about 8 euros or 9 euros. Okay. That's me. If you don't know anything about me or my background, I've been involved in the industry for 29 years. Spent many years in the beginning as a distributor building organizations, which is really the role I do best in many ways. It's the role that is closest to my heart and what the hat I wear most comfortably. I built a large organization in my second company, which was Larome, 15,000 people in 1988 in a year and a half. In 1991, I had my first $1 million month when I launched Lifestyles in the UK, doing $1 million in my own team in my first month. And I also created I moved to the States and did some consulting. I worked with Enrich, which is now called Unicity, creating their first ever skincare line. I became their VP of training and VP of the Eon Collections, which is my name for the skincare. So I've got a lot of experience in product development, building organizations, and also corporate work. I've done a lot of work behind the scenes, and also I was director of European operations for LifeWave in Europe, and also with FFI, the fuel enhancement products. But I was appointed OneCoin's president in August this year, so it's a role that I embrace wholeheartedly. I'm very excited to be here. So what about the structure of the company? Well, the company is a Gibraltar company, which if you're from Europe, you understand that's a tax-efficient zone within Europe. It's a little bit like if you're in Asia, you might be saying Brunei, for example. So it's very tax-efficient. It allows us to sell our digital product, which is, as you see here, online education. You can sell that all over Europe without having to charge VAT, which is a huge advantage, especially in some countries like Norway and Sweden, where the VAT is around 24-25%. So that makes our lives a lot easier in terms of the network marketing. A lot of the operations, though, are run from Sofia in Bulgaria, which is where Dr. Ruja lives. We have a team of over 35 people, 2 specialized IT teams, not one, but 2. One is building and attending to all the website and network marketing side of the business, and the other is purely involved in the cryptocurrency and the mining. These are just high-level mathematicians. As I say, you could be forgiven for thinking that we are a coin-selling company or currency. We do not sell or give away currency even. We actually sell education products, online education, 5 levels of training on how to make money with cryptocurrency, how to trade it and make money with it. When you buy one of these packages, you are given some free items. Amongst those are tokens which you can use to sell or to mine the OneCoin itself, as you'll see in a second. People ask about legality. Well, here's a legal opinion letter from a German law firm, and I'll bring up the original here. It's easier to see, it's larger. German company there in Munich, addressed to OneCoin Limited in Gibraltar. And as you can see here, it explains what a cryptocurrency is and how legal it is. But it says here, in our opinion, the OneCoin is a legitimate product limited to 2.1 billion. Now, what you have to do, in my opinion, is look at that and say, what are they really saying? They're saying that OneCoin is a legitimate product. Well, in order for them to say that as a law firm, what they're really saying is, we have examined the algorithm, we've examined the source code and satisfied ourselves that it is exactly what OneCoin says it is. Okay, because a German law firm is not going to put their reputation on the line and lie for a client. And they go on to give a list of countries here where cryptocurrency, holding it and trading it, is considered legal. Now, I know Global Team, you said to me last time we can't see the UK on here, and I think this is simply an oversight. and we'll make sure it gets added because, of course, it's legal in the UK, just like it is. There it is, UK, yes. Okay, so there it is, legal in the UK. It's legal everywhere except, ironically, Iceland. Iceland has banned cryptocurrency because they, after their financial crisis a few years ago, I think they're trying to really keep a lid on all things to do with banking in Iceland. So, but really anywhere else in the world, you can market and trade our products. Here's some of our team, the IT team taking a briefing. And of course, here is the Wall Street Journal already talking about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. Of course, as I said to you, it's the darling of the investment industry because it's risen so much in value over the last couple of years. In fact, these guys here, the Winklevoss twins, early big investors in Facebook, made a fortune out of Facebook, even have their own Bitcoin trust. That proves to you it's legal when the government allows them to do things like that and starts taxing them on their profits. This is called a blockchain. This is another way you can validate that the product is real. You can go to this website. It's called blockchain.info. This is actually for Bitcoin, and it records in a second-by-second basis every single transaction for Bitcoin that happens. All the mining, all the new coins, all the buying and selling. So everything there, it's all transparent. And we'll have something similar in our back offices when OneCoin starts mining. Again, another way you can satisfy yourself that it's a real and legitimate cryptocurrency and not some fake coin or stupid money game, because really the blockchain is one of the ways you can tell that, and it's really too hard to fake this kind of information, to be honest with you. As I said, we have 5 education levels, 5 packages, from starter package at 100 euros going all the way up to tycoon package at 5,000 euros, each giving you a higher level of interactive material, videos, presentations, and quizzes to learn how to trade and profit from cryptocurrency. With each package, you also get free tokens. Now, I like to call these tokens mining permits because really that's what they are. You can either sell these tokens to other members and cash out. If you've got a very, how should I say, short-term view, you just want to make some quick money, you can cash out, sell your tokens, and you can make more money than it costs you to buy your package. However, you can probably make a lot more money if you have a longer-term view and don't sell your tokens and use them for mining the OneCoin. So use them to buy slots for mining the OneCoin. That's why I call them mining permits. So as I say, what can I do with my tokens? Well, you can sell them. So let's suppose you come in, you buy a package for 5,000 euros, you've got 60,000 tokens, and you sell them all on the exchange for 11 cents, euro cents that is. You know, 60,000 times 11 cents. My maths is a little bit rusty, but it looks to me as though you'd make 6,600 euros, and it only cost you 5,000 euros. So you could sell that and make a profit even at the lowest value of the tokens. But as you know, the tokens will rise again up to 12, 15, up to 20 cents. So you could double your money in the next say 60 to 90 days just on selling your tokens if you were so minded. So there really is no risk to buying a package. Now, how do I know you could sell your tokens? Because there are plenty of people who will be willing to buy them, because the tokens are the key to joining the mining pools. So you'll always find people, if you wanted to sell your tokens, you will always find people who want to take them off your hands, because the smart people realize that the long-term view is to acquire as many tokens as possible and apply all of them to mining the OneCoin, because the more OneCoins you get, the more money you will make. So again, keep your tokens, split your portfolio. All packages will split, by the way. As I said earlier, the exception is the Tycoon package, which is the 5,000 euro package, will split twice. So your 60,000 tokens will jump to 120,000, as they just did yesterday for many people. And they will jump again, probably in another 60 days, to 240,000 tokens if you don't spend them. Global team says, will there be more splits for less expensive packages than Tycoon? No. The way the system is set up is if you have active trader, it will split one time. So when the next split comes, your tokens will not split again. So there's no point waiting for them to split. You need to apply them to mining the OneCoin. The Tycoon will split twice. Excuse me. Here's our trading platform, and as you can see here, this is called the split barometer. People are getting very excited as this hit nearly 100%, and then the split occurred. So as the price of the tokens rose, and then it split, now everyone's got double the tokens, and it starts again. On this trading platform, be able to buy and sell OneCoins, buy and sell tokens, buy and sell your Aurum Gold coins, something I haven't even talked about yet, and even trade interchangeably with Bitcoins. Chi says, how many more splits in the future? There will be constant splits, Chi, because there will be constantly new people coming in buying new packages. So, but it's done on a package by package basis. Your package will only split one time if you have the first four, and two times if you have the Tycoon package. So if you've got a Tycoon package, it cannot happen it cannot split three times, even if the market splits again. Okay, you understand that? What many people are doing, though, of course, is they're buying multiple packages. So their packages can split, they can get multiple splits and take advantage of that. So where will OneCoin be in a year? Well, the starting price when the mining starts will be €0.5, 50 cents. Now I want you to go with me on this and do some maths. You buy a Tycoon package, €5,000. You have 60,000 tokens. Don't sell them. Wait for the split. Then you have 120,000 tokens. Don't sell them. Wait for the split. Now you'll have 240,000 tokens. You will need 5 tokens for each OneCoin when the mining starts. That'll be the cost of joining. In fact, you'll need 500 tokens to join the mining pool. 240,000 divided by 5 gives you 48,000 OneCoins when we start mining. At €0.5 each, that is a value of €24,000. Now, what did you start with just a few months earlier? €5,000. You bought a €5,000 education package. You wait for it to split twice. You mine the OneCoin, get 48,000 coins, and €24,000 value. Now, do you think it will stop at €0.5? No, of course not. Do you think it could double to €1? I think it's highly likely. So you could end up with 48,000 euros value. But in fact, here's the prediction. It could, over the first year, the price will on the low side go to €2.50, but I think it could easily go to €5. That means you can get 10 times increase in value in your package over the first year if you don't sell them. So your 24,000 euros could be worth 240,000 euros. So this is why I tell you, the people who are smart will not sell their OneCoins. They'll make their money from the compensation plan. They'll recruit and build a team, make their income and cash flow, and spend that, use that to pay your bills, but do not spend your OneCoins too early. There's a question coming here from Rex Lu. It says, sorry to interrupt, as long as tokens are escrowed, they can't be used for mining. No, not true. Once we start mining on January the 20th, and you'll get very excited to hear this, by the way, all of you. Once we start mining on January the 20th, you will be able to use your tokens, all your tokens, even those in escrow, to mine the OneCoin. Okay? If they're in escrow for the first 60 days, you can't sell them. You know that. You can't sell them and cash out. But if you want to use them to mine the OneCoin, you can do that. Okay? So let's have a look at what the projection is for the first 3 years. So that was first year. In 3 years, we estimate the OneCoin could be worth 50 euros up to as much as, say, €100, maybe even more. So 50 euros. You started with €0.5. That's 100 times increase. So your 24,000 euros worth of OneCoins would be worth what? 2.4 million euros if you're able to hold on and hold your breath for 3 years. I know many people will want to sell. They'll be tempted to sell over the time. Do so if you want to. Maybe some will sell a bit just to cash out a little bit. But I'm just showing you the long-term view here. The big money here is for the people who have some patience. You know, I was taught when I first joined network marketing nearly 30 years ago, my mentor said 2 things will kill you in this business. One is greed and the other is impatience. And it's never been more true than it is here with OneCoin. Don't be greedy. Don't be impatient. and you're going to make an absolute fortune. Here's a table really just showing trading strategies, short-term, long-term, and balance, which is really what I was talking about, which really backs up the figures that I've already just been sharing with you. Here you go, 240,000 almost there. So short-term is someone who just basically sells their tokens. Long-term is someone who applies their tokens to mining. And balanced is someone who does a bit of both to actually cover their exposure. These are the three ways we create value for people with OneCoin as a company. In the beginning, you've got speculation, which is really what we've been talking about. People are going to speculate. They want to be able to make money from speculation. Then the value store is the people who hold on to it for capital growth. But here is the really exciting bit for me. It's called utility. And you can see it doesn't start in the beginning where we are now. It starts maybe a year from now. And utility means how can you spend it? How can you use it? So by giving people ways to utilize the OneCoin, that will actually validate the value store speculators too. So finally, it is innovative, it is real, and it is secure. It'll be mined 100% by miners and members, so you keep all the profits. You'll be joining pools, so you don't need to spend a lot of money on computers. The real-time mining or blockchain can be watched by all members in your office. And remember this, the early joiners, guys here, everyone here are early joiners, will profit from the low mining price and difficulty. And over time, the price will increase. You cannot lose, guys, is what I'm telling you. Let's talk very quickly about the bonus plan. We have 5 packages: Starter, Trader, Pro Trader, Executive, Tycoon Trader, Academy Level 1, One Academy Level 2, and so on. So, of course, the more expensive package you buy, the more online education you get. So you go all the way up to Tycoon Trader with you get 5 levels of education, costs you 5,000 euros. By the way, if you're a networker, you'll see here 5,000 euros is also 5,000 BV. So we have a one-to-one relationship, 100% BV. You get 60,000 tokens, as I said, I gave you earlier, and you get 2,500 Aurum gold coins, really as a gift from the company for joining the mining and joining the company. But I won't really cover that much today. Now, I'm going to show you some more examples, but I'm going to be talking about Tycoon Trader. The same really applies for really every other position, but Tycoon Trader, in my view, is the most exciting, gives the best return on investment in all ways anyway. So let's have a look at how you make money. Number one, you have direct sales bonus. When you introduce someone and they buy an online education package, you get paid 10% of whatever they buy. So if you sponsor me and I buy a Tycoon package, regardless of the package you hold, you'll still make 10% of 5,000, which is 500 euros. Very easy, quick money. What about network bonus? It's a weak leg binary. That means you get paid on the weaker leg volume. Get paid 10% without any monthly qualification, by the way, without any monthly maintenance. So whatever you do on your weaker leg, you get paid 10% off. Remember what I said, it's a 100% BV as well. So again, if I bought a Tycoon package and I'm in your weaker leg, that 5,000 euros of volume will still give you 500 euros profit just in the binary. That's one sale in the binary, you can be getting 500 euros profit. Is there any wonder that here we are, pre-launch, at closing December, we've already got 50 people maxing out the plan? No wonder at all, because there's easy money and big money to be made here. Matching bonus. You get up to 4 generations and up to 25% according to which package you own. And the only qualification for matching bonus is one sale of a trader on the left and one on the right. There's a 500 euro package. Then you're permanently qualified. As you see here as a Tycoon, you're getting paid all 4 levels or 4 generations of matching bonus, 25% on the 4th. I'll show you here, I've done a little example based upon some assumptions. Assuming that the people in your organization are only earning 100 euros per week on average, and assuming you're qualified with your trader sale on your left and your right. Okay, remember I just shown you how you can make 500 euros a week just in the binary or network bonus. So here's a consistent estimate of 100. See, as a Tycoon trader, which is this one here, I mean, of course you can see matching bonus everyone gets matching bonus, but the fourth generation really kicks in here. As a tycoon, you're getting more matching bonus here on your fourth level. Now, here's a very simple example. This baby organization, this is below average. You know, in our industry, the average person will sponsor between 2 and 3 people. So if you go out and sponsor 2, help them get 2, and help them get 2 over a period of time, through 4 levels, you'll have around 30 people. Now, if they're only averaging 100 euros per week, you still make 620 euros a week in matching bonus. But as I say, people on this call, I don't consider you below average. You're obviously above average, otherwise you wouldn't be here. So let's look at it. What if you did 50% more work? You go out and find 3, help them find 3, and help them find 3. And over a period of time, you end up with 81 people on your 4th level, making 100 euros a week. Your matching bonus alone could be nearly 3,000 euros a week. Now, of course, all the others are still making increased matching bonus as well, but by not the same margin. Look how it jumps. But let's imagine what would happen now if you're a real leader. And the real leaders are the people like you who are getting in right at the beginning because you see the vision, you see the potential. There's huge, huge potential ahead of us. We may have 26,000 members already in our first 3 months, but really in a company of this size or kind, global, we will soon have, maybe next year, 300,000 or 400,000 members, and maybe in 2 to 3 years, 2 or 3 million members. You are right in at the beginning, okay? You're going to make an absolute fortune. And look at this. What if you go out and find 5 and help them get 5 and build a small organization of people here earning 100 euros a week? You can make over 18,000 euros a week just in matching bonus. In fact, we actually already have some people maxing out the plan just on their matching bonus. And we say maxing out the plan, what we mean is whatever the value of the package you bought, that is how much you're allowed or enabled to earn in the plan on a daily basis. So if you have a 5,000 euro Tycoon Trader package, you can earn up to 35,000 euros per week out of the plan. That's maxing the plan. If you only have a 100 euro pack, you can earn up to 700 euro out of the plan. So what's happening is some people are getting 100 or 500 euros package, starting to earn quick money, and they're deciding they need to upgrade very, very quickly. Startup bonus, another bonus. Within your first 30 days, you get paid 10% of all direct sales into your mandatory account as long as you sponsor or sell over 5,500 euros worth, which is really the equivalent of, say, a Tycoon Trader package and a trader package. Really not that difficult. We've launched our recognition and rewards program, started in November, and as you can see here, the pin levels or ranks go from Sapphire to Ruby, Emerald, Diamond, all the way up to Crown Diamond, and with increasing rewards based upon increasing achievements. Now, this is over and above anything you get from the compensation plan. As you see here, with a very limited, small organization, weekly volume of 10,000 points and a total volume of 40,000 points, you can get a Ruby pin and an iPhone 6. And all you need is to sponsor 2 Sapphires anywhere in your organization. To get to Emerald and get a MacBook Air, you need 80,000 points and 40,000 in your weak leg. And again, a Ruby, to get Emerald, you need 3 Rubies anywhere in your organization. This is where it's exciting for some. We already, by the way, have a couple of people at the blue and black diamond level, but at the top position here, you're getting 500,000 euros worth of Aurum gold coins in your name in a secure vault in Dubai. One life points bonus, I won't go into that right now, but basically this is a loyalty scheme, a little bit like Air Miles or a hotel loyalty scheme. The more people who join the company after you, regardless of whether they're in your team, add to your points, and you're going to be able to use those to buy luxury goods or holidays. And that's really just another free item for joining. And this is also a free gift with joining the Aurum Gold Coin. This is a hybrid currency based in Dubai, and it's a partner of ours. And every cryptocurrency that they create, every coin they mine, they back it up with 1 milligram of solid gold. And that will be stored for you in your name in Dubai. So basically all members who join will get free gold coins, really as a thank you for joining the company. This shows you exactly how many you get. So as a tycoon, you're getting 2,500 Aurum gold coins or 2,500 milligrams of gold. If you want to sell this, by the way, you can sell this on the trading platform. Not quite yet, but very soon. And lastly, how do you get paid? Well, of course, you can get paid direct to your bank account. You'll be able to sign up very shortly for the MasterCard to get payments directly onto a debit card. You can go to an ATM and just pull out your commissions. And of course, the other way, which is very clever for most people, is you can go out and use your earnings account to generate gift codes, which you can sell to new people and they can give you cash. So you get money out of the system very, very quickly. There's a question here. I don't really want to see here, but I'll answer this very quickly. Sorry to interrupt. I bought a Tycoon trader before the split. I wrote many emails. After 8 days, I did not get the code. No one replied. Is that okay? What you need to do is, get in touch with me or support. Remember, they've been closed over the Christmas period, support, so that might be if you haven't heard from them. I need to find out who you bought the Tycoon Trader package from, and who is going to issue the code and so on. We'll solve this. We'll get to the bottom of it. So get in touch with me. You can write to me at nigel@onecoin.eu and copy me in and support, and we'll find out exactly what's happened here, and trust me, we'll solve this. We don't want anyone being left behind here. There's enough money in this for everybody. So having said that, I'm going to say thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for joining us on your holiday period. I hope you've all had a wonderful holiday period with your family and loved ones, and ready to get started working again in the new year. It's going to be a very, very exciting year for all of us. And everyone here, I would consider, are pioneers. Everyone on this call has an opportunity to make an absolute fortune over the coming 2 to 3 to 5 years. And don't take those words lightly. I mean it very, very sincerely. So thank you very much. This is our last call of 2014. I wish you all a very, very happy and prosperous new year. I'll see you on my next call on Sunday, the 4th of January. Thank you very much. Good night all. Good afternoon.